What is going on, everybody? What is going on, party people? Let me go ahead and get my screen situation going right here. Sorry about that, everybody. So, what's going on, everybody? Back for another episode of the Shot Podcast. Another Saturday, another show. Thank you for everybody rocking out with us, man. We enjoy this every single week, man. We back providing great content consistently for you guys. So, once again, as you file in, say hello to everybody in the chat, man. I've been keeping up with the chat low key. I'm gonna let y'all in on the secret. I've been keeping up with the chat literally on my phone while we're doing this process, just because it's easier for me to do that. But anyway, outside of that, man, I appreciate everything you guys are doing as far as you guys coming in, hanging out with us every single week. You guys continue to support the channel as you file in, say hello, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. We on the road to 1,200. I appreciate you guys' constant and consistent support, man. So just say hello to everybody as you come in, man. But we got a lot to talk about, a lot to unpack, a lot of controversial things this week, man. A lot of controversial shit this week, so we definitely gonna dive into that. So let me go ahead and just go around the panel as we do every week. If it's your first time here, just enjoy yourself, kick back, have fun. Make sure you're in the chat, being active, man. We always like to, throw things at the chat, throw things at, people like to, input information as well. So we definitely keep up with everything there. So let's go around the panel, man. We're gonna start with Stag, Mr. Stagger Lee, man. Mr. Mixer Streamer himself, man. What's going on with you? What you got going on this week, buddy?
Oh man, just relaunched this last week after taking a week off. I'm doing morning streams Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. 9:15, 11:30 a.m. Monday through Friday. It's been great, just refocusing on indie titles and reading all the news and watch the state of play and Inside Xbox this week, and just focused on gaming.
For sure. I've been noticing that too. Well, I low key be stalking you on a Mixer. My wife actually watches. She pops in and out sometimes, but I noticed you've been playing a ton of indies. For if you guys didn't know, Stagger, our resident streamer here on the Shop Podcast, does a lot of cool things. Please go follow him on Mixer. Matter of fact, follow him on YouTube, not YouTube, but Twitter. That's where you can get all his information from about Mixer, other things he has going on as well. Appreciate you every week coming in here, being awesome, being a part of the show, Stag. Thank you so much. Next, we're going to go ahead and go with Centurion, the newest member of the Shop Podcast. Before I even get to you, Centurion, shout out to Zalker as well, my guy. Huge thing, man. He actually, on Mixer the other day, I was watching him live, and he gave me a huge shout out on his actual live stream. I appreciate that, brother, man. He was a part of the show. Things change as far as the schedule, and he can't be a part of the show now, but he's still always shouting the podcast out. So thank you so much if you're watching, Zalker. Shout out to Jarhead as well, the unknown. He's kind of like Darth Maul, kind of like behind the scenes of the Shop Podcast. But he shows a lot of love as well too. So go ahead and Centurion, let everybody know what's going on with you, what you got going. I know you've been super busy. You're just starting to get your videos back up again. So let everybody know what's going on with that.
Oh, well, you know how it is. I'm like every person in this world. I got a very demanding job, and I can't keep up with YouTube sometimes as a result of it. But now those days are behind me. I'm getting back on that content creation train. You'll see something popping up from me Monday. But luckily, in between getting working hard and just getting home late at night, I have been playing a lot of games. I've been actually, I've been this month alone. I've beat Control, Gears 5, and I just saw the credits roll for Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Nice. You've
Yeah,
been gaming
now
a lot.
it's time for the DLC.
Yeah, you've been gaming a lot, which is awesome, man. That's what we do here, man. We game, we talk throughout the week, and that's what we do, and then we come together on Saturdays and get this shit popping. So appreciate you every Saturday, man. Super consistent. Appreciate you taking a little bit of time out today to come hang out with us, man. And then last but not least, the Barry White of podcast, baby. There's nothing to say about this man at all, man. We saved him for last for a reason, man. Almost didn't make it to the show today. We had some other things that almost happened, but glad you were able to be on for us. Let everybody know what's going on with you, brother.
Hey, what's up, everyone? Fuzzy Belvedere here. Wife made some last minute cancellation, so a little less drama this evening. So here to talk about my favorite things, some gaming, and glad to be here and hit these topics. Glad to be with you guys.
Man, appreciate it, man. Every single week, man. We all look forward. This funny thing is, we be talking pre-game in the chat, and this is something that us four individuals look forward to. And I hope you guys enjoy the content we put out. Hopefully here soon. I mean, I'm having some changes coming. I'm thinking about completely revamping a lot of things. It's been a while since I've gone back to the drawing board and kind of figured out what we're doing here. So if you guys want to have input on that, always hit me up on Twitter as well. Follow us all on Twitter. By the way, that's kind of where we use Twitter as a hub to other things. So if you guys want to ever give input on the show or anything I can improve on, I love constructive criticism or just criticism in general because it always I can learn from it. So I appreciate it. Hit me up on Twitter, DM me saying, hey, you should do this or do that, or this is an idea. I'm always looking for input. So appreciate you guys. Once again, as you're coming in, please say hello in the chat. Hit that like button on your win as well. Thank you for everybody showing up. So let's go ahead and get this bitch started, man, because I'm ready to go. So first things first, we're going to be talking about the poll of the week. So if you guys don't know, most of you guys know that are here now that I do a poll of the week every single Monday morning. I put out the poll on Twitter. So if you're not following me, once again, that's the hub kind of where everything goes down. Follow me on Twitter. You'll be able to find that poll of the week. And it blew up. Poll of the week was crazy this week. I didn't really think that. Sometimes I do these things and they get 50 votes or 30 votes. Other times they get 400 votes. So every now and then it's happened. So this one actually blew up. So the poll of the week this week was which Xbox studio are you the most excited to see make a new game and why? So one was the Initiative, Ninja Theory, Playground Games, and Obsidian. Those are the four options. Now they have other studios as well that are working on games, but these are the four that I essentially picked. So the Initiative, not too surprised. 39% of the votes. Playground Games was second with 28%. Ninja Theory was 17. Obsidian was 16. There was a lot of various different reasons. A lot of people put, why they chose those. But we're going to start with you guys in the panel. And not only is that question for us, it's for you guys in the chat as well. So let us know what you guys think about this question. What will be your choices and why those studios would be your choices. So we're going to start with you, Stag. Since we kicked it off with you as far as the introductions, man. I don't remember exactly what you picked and what option you picked. But let us know here on the podcast, man, which option would you pick and why did you pick that?
I mean, I'm just going to reiterate what I said last week, and I'm just going to go with the Initiative because of the unknown and the talent that they've brought together. And I'm really curious to see what they come up with for the next gen system. So that's my answer. I'm really excited about them. I also want to see what Ninja Theory's working on, other than Bleeding Edge. But other than that, man, just the Initiative really has me curious.
Yeah, it's almost we're really doing it for it's just the talent they built around them. I mean, would you agree? Is this the talent that we see coming on board is kind of the biggest reason? Because honestly, if we didn't hear about and see on Twitter the type of talent that they're getting, I don't know if that would have been the number one answer. You know what I'm saying? Like if it wasn't visible, the type of talent we know the studios these people are coming from. If we didn't see that, would that have changed your perspective on what your options have been?
Probably, but knowing the talent that they're bringing in it's very intriguing. But yeah, if it wasn't for that, I probably would have gone with Ninja Theory just because of how good their last two games have been looking. So
okay, no, solid answer, and that's exactly why it won the poll. To be honest with you, because a lot of people had that very very similar answers, like the initiative essentially just because the talent that they're pulling, what could potentially happen with all of that talent? Where could they go? What direction are we talking? Single player, multiplayer, a little bit of both, some brand new shit we never can even think of. Who the fuck knows? So that studio is in very, very, very early stages as far as So when would you think we'd be seeing anything or even hearing anything about a game? What do you think is the earliest? Maybe year or two of next gen? Maybe not this E3, not next E3, but maybe the one after that. You think, or you think we're gonna hear something maybe even next
I
year?
don't think we'll have anything at E3. I mean, maybe they'll have. I mean, they're going to bring them out and talk, but I don't think they're going to have any footage for us to see until after the system launches. I don't know what I think, to be honest with you. I'm not schooled in all that in that world of game development, how long it takes, and all that stuff. But I mean, considering they're building for a brand new platform, a whole new technology stuff, and just what they're going to be able to do, and how seamless they're talking about the worlds are going to be able to be with no load times and stuff like that, and just that how like a lot of people have talked about, we're going to be able to do new things we've never been able to do before with the new, not just the Xbox but the PS5, I guess.
Yeah.
Who knows what's coming? Thereby, like, the way we play games might change. There might be new, just mechanics. That's the word I'm looking for. Just things we've never heard of or even seen or can't even think of. That's where I'm at right now. I can't conceptualize what it might be.
that makes a lot of them, because you're right. Every generation. So think about this. I mean, remember at the start of before we got BC or backwards compatible. Remember there was some developers. Well, it was on the other side of the fence saying, "Hey, that's not even possible this generation." Remember that? I can't remember who it was. Was it Cerny said it wasn't possible? I don't know if he was just speaking for his platform, but he was like, that's not possible. Then we get BC a year later. You know what I'm saying? So there's all these different things that these humps that they're overcoming every single generation. And like Stag said, I think it's a great point. We could get a feature or a game mechanic that completely changes the way we play video games, right? I mean, that could
I have no
really
idea what it
smack.
could be, but
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah, no, true. I mean, when you think there's nothing new they can possibly do,
they do it.
yeah, they do it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where I'm going with the initiative. Essentially, now I guess I'll go next since I'm kind of piggybacking off what you're saying. So my choice was the initiative for a lot of those same reasons. Just the question marks got me like, what the fuck could they possibly do with all that talent that they're getting? There's still more people coming. The
They're still
dude, I
hiring.
follow him. Yeah, I follow him on Twitter. I think he's ahead of the studio, but I follow him on Twitter. He's still putting out job postings weekly saying, hey, we're looking for this person, that person, this person, and they're just scooping up the talent. I don't know if you guys know. Now, I know everybody here on the panel does. They're right in the middle of Santa Monica. You realize where that's at? You realize the hotbed of talent? That's Naughty
Yeah.
Dog. That's Sony Santa Monica. That's Insomniac. That's everybody right there. That's other studios as
Come
well.
get yourself some Microsoft
Come
money.
get you. Here's this big fat check. Here we go. Let's do this shit. So I'm of the mind that I think that the quality of developers and the ideas that they're going to come up with is going to be amazing. Now, a close second for me is Playground. I was kind of 50-50 with this because Fuzz, we've seen some things and we
Yeah.
don't even know if those things are factual. Now, once again, I don't want to sit up here and act like I'm Chloe Grill or somebody like I know more than I actually do, but it's just the idea. Everybody was talking Fable for so long, Fable. And I tweeted out something that I saw as well. Once again, you always do your own research. I say it again, even if I tweet some shit out, please go, figure it out for yourself. Don't just take my word for it. But very interesting about the job postings and all these different things. So who knows? Maybe Playground's doing Fable. Maybe they're not. I wouldn't be opposed to them not doing Fable. I would not be opposed to them doing something completely different because all they've made is car games. Forza, that's it. Forza Horizon, that's it. What could they do? I mean, what could they do with a different genre? Like, that's intriguing to me. We know the quality that we get from Forza. Now, take that, move it to something like an RPG, move it to something like an open world game. That's insane. The way they're able to build the world, the way they're able to, their games come out almost flawless. I mean, there's some issues. Not everybody likes a DLC, Fuzzy. But
Legos, yeah.
yeah. Either way, they do fantastic, and it's always high quality. They're always pushing that genre to the very very edge. When we think Forza can't get any better, they do something completely different and blow this shit all up. So I'm thinking Playground Initiative are kind of 50-50 for me. We're gonna go ahead and bounce this over to you, Centurion. What do you think, man? I don't know if you voted on the poll. It was about almost pretty much 400 votes, man. It was crazy. It blew up. But what were your options? What were your picks essentially out of those studios and why?
Well, my top, I feel like you guys already stolen from me. I'm not. My number one
That was
pick
my
though
plan.
is going to be right. My number one pick was going to be Playground Games.
Oh, wow,
Purely
okay.
because of I'm a huge RPG fan. I'm looking forward to what Obsidian is cooking up with the Outer Worlds. I am just hoping that this Fable rumor thing turns out to be true. But either way, with the quality that we've seen come out of Playground Games, whatever their RPG is, it's going to be great. Forgive me, I'm not, like Stagger. His choice was the initiative because of the unknown. The reason why I'm choosing Playground Games is because of the unknown. Because, gosh, sometimes it's like, how people are feeling about like when Ninja Theory came out of left field with Bleeding Edge. I'm looking forward to Bleeding Edge, but I'm pretty sure there was some Ninja Theory fans out there that were just like, oh my God, they're doing an online multiplayer. Did not expect that.
Yeah, I'm sure there were.
Yeah, but that just actually also just goes to show the versatility that these developers have. They're not just limited to doing one game at a time. Some of them are doing multiple games, and they're doing multiple genres of games. To go from a single player driven narrative, it comes out of one development team, and then to find out another development team has been working on an online multiplayer. It's just the initiative could be cooking up anything at this point, and with the talent that they're taking in from the rest of the gaming world, it definitely points to it being a very massive almost industry changing single player experience.
Yeah. Yeah, no, absolutely. I agree with you about the fact that that's very underrated. And I would assume you guys would agree with me on this, Stag, Fuzz, and Centurion. We need to stop putting these developers in a box. We really need to stop doing that because we are all guilty of doing that. Like to some degree.
Well,
They should make this. They should. I'm not saying you are. I'm not saying you're a champion at everything. I'm just saying that, like in general, the community likes to put these devs in a box. We realize development game is an artistic, creative process. They can go a lot of
to
different
go into what
directions.
you're saying about, I'm just wanting to say, to go with
Yeah.
what you're saying, thinking out of the box. Do we all remember the oil spill incident over there in Texas, where that broken pipeline that was just completely out of control, just spewing oil into the Gulf of Texas or whatever it was?
I don't
Yeah.
know. I think so.
Gulf of Mexico. Basically, the United States military, all these people could not figure out to do. And who did they turn to? Who was a master of both underwater exploration and underwater robotics? James freaking Cameron, a Hollywood director who has built his own submersible and dove to the deepest part of the ocean. He did movies like The Abyss, which were heavily done with underwater robotics and stuff like that. And he's also made multiple expeditions down to the Titanic. They basically thought outside the box. They had to get somebody who could completely think of something that they would not think of because he was not from their, like, he didn't live in their industry, so he didn't think like they did. And to kind of go with what you're saying, like, that's where if you let these developers think outside the box, they're going to create games and experiences that are going to that could, you could get the next multiplayer mode, you could get the next single player experience, you could get something, you could get a feature in a game. Like everybody's now talking like the ping system in multiplayer.
Yeah.
Now all of a sudden everybody wants a ping system.
Yep.
It's just innovations like that occur by letting a developer think outside the box.
Yeah. No, for sure. And I know what people are gonna say. That sounds hypocritical from us because we are super critical of shit like Death Stranding. I get it. All right, I get it. The problem is it's different when you show me everything you have, and I'm still like, huh? Like that's just me once again. I'm not knocking Kojima's ability to make a game because he damn sure is a high level. I'm not knocking his ability at all. The man knows what the fuck he's doing. Even if he's the only one that knows what he's doing, he knows exactly what he's doing. So I'm not doubting his ability, but I think that's a different situation. But I'm talking about just in general where we get to this comfortable spot and we say, okay, do this, do that. Like these devs have to take chances, and a lot of the chances that they take could cost them a lot. They can cost them the job, the entire studio. These games aren't like set in stone. There's very few games that that work for themselves. Like 2K, Madden, you can just do anything with those franchises. They're still gonna sell. These other games, like even established franchises like a Gears, like a Halo. I mean, these things are fickle. You know what I'm saying? So allow these devs some flexibility to do different things. So I agree with you, Centurion, on that point. That's something that it's been kind of not talked about a lot this generation. We want people to think outside the box, but we put them in the box. You know what I'm saying? So you got to pick one or the other. So I agree completely with you on that one, Centurion. So Fuzzy, let's go ahead and throw this over to you, man. I know you voted for sure. And what was your pick out of that list, man?
Well, before I get to my pick, like you guys were just talking about, as far as having devs talk or think outside the box, look over at Sony. Perfect examples of that were Naughty Dog. Wasn't Naughty Dog the ones that did Crash Bandicoot, and then they wound up making Uncharted and Last of Us? So
Yeah.
Those are a bit of an extreme difference from their earlier days. And if you look at what I forget the name of the studio at the minute because it escapes me, but they did Killzone, which graphically it looked great. Just didn't play well, but when they made Horizon Zero Dawn, everybody was like, "Oh my god, this is so amazing! Look at it graphically." And it's one of those things where they, I guess, kind of learned from trying to not recreate the competitor's game, because that was basically them trying to make a Halo all those years, and it didn't really work out for them.
Yeah.
But when they decided to make their own thing that was more of an RPG kind of single player story experience, it worked out a lot better. So hopefully we'll see the same things here from the initiative and some of these other studios. But on that list, that is a tough list to pick one.
Yeah.
And there's one that I wish could have been added to the list, because you had just recently tweeted about Undead Labs with Aaron Greenberg being over there.
Phil was over there too. Phil tweeted it out earlier that day before Aaron tweeted it out.
Yeah, so it's like I really love zombie games. I really love State of Decay, and State of Decay 2 is a perfect, I guess upgrade from that. But now if they can just tweak a little bit more on the graphical aspect, because they'll have the full funding and technology behind it, that game is probably going to eat up a lot of people's free time.
Mm-hmm.
Dying Light did that for me with the first one. I'm looking forward to the second one, although I have to admit, not as much because it seems like there's less zombies and more people, and I don't know if I want to have to negotiate deals with other groups and things. But back to the question at hand on the poll of the week, the initiative because of the unknown, but you know with me, playground games, being a big fan of Forza Horizon, um, really looking forward to what they're going to do with the fifth one because I never thought they'd be able to incorporate seasons like they did on this last one. And yeah, I don't always agree on their DLC, but hey, the graphical detail in those Legos and the sound and the feel, it pretty much feels like you're playing with Legos. So they're on top of their game when it comes to reliving or recreating experiences. And if any of those images from what they were working on prior to being
Oh
acquired,
man, woo, fuzz.
I really would like to see. I mean, it's along the lines of what I wish, let's say Ashen, or I forget the other game at the moment, but if Ashen had more of a realistic graphical style,
It's
I
insane.
have a
It's
I
crazy.
have a feeling that that's kind of the path that they want to go. So really curious to see how that turns out. If it is Fable and it just has like a whole different mood to it, that's fine. If it's not Fable, I hope the fans that were expecting Fable don't, riot or anything like that. But
Hmm.
I'm really curious to see because, like everyone said, they've just made car games. So let's see what they do when they're not making a car game. And I have a gut feeling that everybody's going to be pleasantly surprised. So
Oh yeah, it's
really
gonna be
looking
great.
forward to it.
What we're saying is you can't go wrong with any of these studios. That's
Nah.
basically what we're saying. I'm excited. We're all excited about what they're able to do now that they're all kind of, they're all underneath Xbox and Microsoft. They're all in now. I feel like everybody's kind of getting settled in. It's been a little while since the announcements, things like that. All these people. I mean, I just tweeted out earlier. They got crazy traction on Twitter. Ninja Theory's still building their studio. They kind of did a time lapse part 4, and I've been keeping up. I do follow them on Twitter as well. They're building an entirely new building altogether, right in the middle of, I can't remember the city it is in the UK, but right in the middle of town, it's a large, very large studio. They're building from the ground up. I mean,
Yeah.
come on now. You know what I'm saying? Like, Xbox is really putting their money where their mouth is. This is not a, here, you guys can stay in this little, fucking strip mall and build this video game. You know what I'm saying? No, we're giving you a office building to make these fantastic fucking games are because you guys are expanding and we want you guys to do more, do more what you already do very good. And I want to throw Obsidian in there too because Obsidian is fucking fantastic, and I think where a lot of us are going to be surprised. Now, Outer Worlds is coming out. That's
Yeah.
something that we knew that they were already working on prior to. As a lot of people say that was the reason why Xbox purchased them because they saw that game and was like, wait a minute, this is some cool ass shit, and we know the pedigree of the games they're making. So once they get done with their obligation, who knows what's next? You know what I'm saying? So we will definitely see more for them. But that was the poll of the week, guys. Great warm up topic. Once again, everybody, as you're filing in, please hit the like button. Say hello to everybody in the chat, man. Say hi to us as well, man. Let's go ahead and keep this thing rolling. Now, this next one was a big topic, and I actually should have saved this shit for last because I feel like this can go a whole lot of different ways. I felt like a lot of people on both sides of the coin were on the same side essentially about this particular topic. Now, we're talking about Call of Duty and the fact that they're still keeping exclusive content. Well, PlayStation, I won't say it's just PlayStation because they did have a deal in place already, but they're still holding back content on the PlayStation for a whole year and still charging everybody the same price. Basically, Activision is using that Destiny 1 strategy where they're holding shit off certain systems. They're even keeping the fucking content off PC, which is kind of crazy. So they're holding content off but still charging everybody the same price for
Uh,
the game. Now, people are up in arms about this. I mean, it is to be fair here. Let me just throw this out there. It's not a game mode a lot of us are probably going to play. You know what I'm saying? I think the percentage is like 10% of people even played the game mode when it was out. It's not a huge game mode, but it's still the principle of the matter. You're charging me $60. It's like going to McDonald's. You buy an $8 meal for us. I buy an $8 meal. You get a drink. I don't. I still
Yeah.
paid $8. Where the fuck is my drink? I'm gonna turn into Karen. I'm gonna be a Karen.
Can you
Where's the
imagine that
manager?
question at McDonald's? Are you an
Oh, come
Xbox or a
on, man.
PlayStation guy?
Come on. Like, seriously.
Right?
Come on now. I mean, I'm gonna turn into a Karen. Where's the manager? I need to speak with him right now. For real. Like, where's my drink at? I paid the same price as everybody else. Where's my shit? So it's the principle. So I want to go ahead and start with you, Centurion, on this. Where you at on this? I mean, I know a lot of us have kind of moved on. Some people say they even canceled pre-orders, all kind of crazy shit. So where you at on this, man?
This is actually the subject of my next video on why. Well, what it is my next video is going to be titled Xbox is king of multiplayer. They don't need to throw money at multiplayer games because they already know that they're at they're number one when it comes to multiplayer. This is probably going to trigger some people, but PlayStation doesn't have a really great multiplayer network. It's not as active as Xbox. That has been proven. Xbox has been deemed the number one online experience by numerous websites, including Tom's Guide and Forbes. That's the funny thing, man. They don't need to throw all this money to get people to come over there and want to play online games. Like when you go into GameStop, Rainbow Six Siege or Call of Duty Black Ops, any games that are heavily ingrained in multiplayer are worth more even on the used market at GameStop on the Xbox side than they are to PlayStation. Generally, PlayStation games are cheaper because the network isn't as active. The ecosystem doesn't use the online as much. And that's where you see these great single-player exclusive experiences coming out of PlayStation. But when it comes to the multiplayer, we already saw that they've kind of canned that with The Last of Us 2. And they don't really concentrate too hard on multiplayer. Instead, they just throw their money around. Hey, Activision, can we get a raid? Hey, Activision, can we get a multiplayer mode? They have to buy their multiplayer experience rather than create it, where with Xbox, we can already see it in Gears 5. They created not only a single-player experience, but they also made a great multiplayer experience.
Co-op as well.
And co-op as well, exactly. So they're not limited to this just single player genre. They're able to get the other half of the market. And that is my whole thing. Like, yeah, I could see why everybody's disgruntled because, once again, Activision does show their true colors. They can be bought out. They can be bought out very quickly. And not only that, but PlayStation has to purchase yet another multiplayer experience. The funny part is the show I believe it was on Saltiest, or maybe it was a different show that I was listening to on YouTube, but somebody put out PlayStation might have Xbox has no exclusives, but we've got multiplayer. So that's the funny part about it is, that's where I stand on it, man, is Xbox is definitely showing that they're starting to become the king of multiplayer and subscription services, where the other guys are just holding this flag of like, this is where the single player experience lives. But what happens when the initiative and these other great companies, all 15 of these developers that Microsoft has purchased, starts cranking out single player experiences? PlayStation has not been heavily invested into their online network since it first came out. When it first came out, you had to buy a proverbial for the PS2 just to use their online network, where the original Xbox, it was in there. All you had to do is hook it up to the internet and you could play online. With PS3, they gave it to you for free because it wasn't really being used as much. And then the PS4 comes around and they charge you just as much as Xbox Live. Now, Xbox Live has had some hiccups here recently where, it's been down here and there, but it's not been down nowhere near as much as PSN. And PSN tried to come out and state that, they're like one of the number one services for online multiplayer. And Android Central came out and released an article saying, you guys need to calm down. That's completely untrue. You guys actually have one of the more unreliable online services. And so don't be getting ahead of yourself. This is why you're buying into the Microsoft Azure system, because they're more reliable. You guys, I forget what system that they were using. The Gaikai.
They spent
Gaikai, the Gaikai servers. And that's what I mean.
But
I
that
could
was
go
for
on
PS
about this
Now
all
more
day.
so than their. Well, I mean, they use it for a lot of different things, but I know a lot of that was they talked about that with PlayStation Now and that whole thing at the beginning of the generation.
Right.
So
The biggest example I could give people that probably think I'm like trash talking PSN is look at your gamer tag situation. You, for starters, have to play the game of Russian roulette when it comes to changing your gamer tag. And hopefully it doesn't delete all of your digital purchases when you do that. And then on top of that, how long did it take you to even get it to where you can change that tag?
it's been years.
Xbox put a lot more thought into their system. It wasn't just something that they slapped out there just to appease the economy. They actually wanted to create a living, breathing ecosystem that evolved as gaming evolved.
Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. Now, to play devil's advocate here, I'm not 100% blaming Sony because business is business at the end of the day. I think that practice of keeping content, especially on a multi-plat, that we're all getting to play right after you introduce crossplay, right after you say, hey, look, we're all playing together now. We jumped in bed, but we're going to keep this other content to ourselves for a year. So like that's shit that to me that's just like really come on like really you shook my hand and you had the knife behind your back like well yeah things are all good
I,
but soon you
I've
turn
heard some people saying that they had to do this because obviously they had this big old contract with Bungie and Destiny, and then Activision let Bungie go, and now all of a sudden Sony's probably like, well, hey, you guys owe us something. And so there's people that are stating that this is Activision just throwing Sony a bone
I,
because they're looking bad over that whole
I'm
situation.
Well,
definitely
and
on
Sony's
Activision.
all
Go
Sony's
ahead.
actively said they're gonna go out and do this more aggressively too to get more exclusive stuff for their games if they're multi-plat.
Well, you get this is a segue
They've
right into you,
stated
Chad.
this
Go
is
ahead.
gonna be a business tactic.
But dude, this is almost ridiculous, man. This is like almost like saying like, hey, we have a different color red Santa suit over here. It's over there at Xbox, it's red, but over here it's a different color of red. That's just like how meaningless it is to me. Like I'm dead serious. Like from what I've heard, this is a mode within a mode. Like it's some kind of Spec Ops mode.
Isn't it like
Back
kind of
to
like
Modern
Horde,
Warfare.
basically?
Oh,
This
okay,
is
it
like
could be Horde. I don't know.
I heard it's kind of like a Horde where you're
Oh,
just
okay.
going up with a team of friends up
And it's
against
wave
bots,
after
and
wave.
they just
Yeah.
wave after
Yeah.
wave, and that's something I would fucking be interested in
Well,
because
go
I
ahead,
love that
Stag.
kind of
Go ahead.
shit.
It's on you.
I don't mean. I mean, if you're
Yeah.
done,
No,
Centurion,
no,
I'll go into
I
this.
heard it was a mode within a mode. Like I heard
Yeah,
that
no, it's like
I
part of
heard that
Spec
there's
Ops,
supposed
but
to be a
it's like
Spec Ops mode on Xbox, but the survival mode of Spec Ops is going to be exclusive to
Oh,
PlayStation
so it's
for a year.
okay. Go ahead,
so.
Stag. If you, unless you done, you
So
done.
I got like, you done?
Oh, I'm done. I'm
Okay, go
sorry.
ahead.
I'm
No,
going
you
It's
off.
all
good. No,
good.
you good. I just want to make sure.
All right. So here's the way. If you want to be an exclusive, go be fucking exclusive. Don't I mean, granted, it's a very small part of the game, but I mean, a fucking year. I personally don't care because I'm not huge into Call of Duty, but it's really screwing over the Xbox guys, in my opinion. I
PC as
get
well.
like
PC as
30
well.
days, maybe 3 months, but like Jesus fucking Christ, a year? I don't understand that. I mean, I get maybe exclusive skins, exclusive fucking outfits, that kind of stuff, but I think it's kind of a dick move. It's not that huge of a deal in my opinion, but it's still a dick move. I forgot what my second point was already. God damn it.
I complain too
I got
much.
all worked up, and then I was like,
No,
wow,
you're right.
and I forgot.
No, you're right. I know. But just to elaborate off of that, you're right. I mean, it's ridiculous because if you guys don't know, I was around OG Destiny 1. It went from being 1 year to 2 years with Destiny 1. I didn't get a Hawk Moon until damn near Destiny 2.
I
I
mean,
didn't
just
get that. I mean, it's ridiculous to think
You didn't
that
get a
like
what?
it's a weapon. It's a weapon in Destiny 1 that they kept out of Xbox for 2 years, as well as there was a whole like a weekly, not a raid, but it was like a I can't remember what the shit that's below raids.
Nightfall or
Nightfall,
something.
yeah, it was an entire Nightfall bunch of shit that Destiny 1 we didn't get for 2 years on
Yeah.
Xbox. Ridiculousness. Like, how do you split the fan base like that? I understand money talks, but we're in an era of now. We've been talking of crossplay for a year or two now. We talking about these multiplats, Fortnite, Minecraft, all these other games that are going crossplay that they're not. Everybody's seeing the benefit of that. Apex Legends, all these games when everybody benefits, everybody plays together. It's just better for the game. And you still do some silly shit like this to try and low key kind of sneak that in, and then still charge everybody $60 is asinine. in today's day and age. And to think that you would do it, the timing of it, which to me says more about their intention than anything else. You wait till right after you talk about crossplay and you get the hype going and all them pre-orders come flooding in because people are excited. Then you make this small little, well, we're gonna keep this kind of to ourselves. That's sneaky as fuck, Stag.
Well, I mean, you get your pre-order money back.
You
I mean, all these
do.
people getting mad
You
about
do.
like I pre-ordered this. Well, fucking cancel it.
And by the way, people,
most places don't charge your damn card until the game ships. I mean, if you pre-ordered it digitally, I think they charge up front, don't they?
Pretty sure the ones that are complaining pre-ordered on PlayStation because after 14 days you're kind of SOL.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that's how that worked.
They keep your money. If
the game's pre-released, or
no, their return policy on PlayStation is 14 days from your date of purchase, not the day that it comes out.
Wow, that's
ridiculous. It's in the fine print.
Somebody
so
in
if
the chat, you guys can check that in the fact check that in the chat. Let us know about that. I don't know if that's true. I always go to.
I've run into that with PlayStation. You can get around the 14-day, but it is such a jumping through hoops situation. I think No Man's Sky was like the one few exception, but you really had to go after them constantly or do a chargeback on your card. I think if you threaten to do a chargeback on your credit card, then they kind of have to. But yeah,
that's when they put it in their policy that if you do a chargeback on your card, that they will actually they lock your account until you give them the money. And that even includes if there's fraudulent, if somebody buys $800 worth of stuff on your card and you put a chargeback, they'll still lock your account. Crazy. They don't care if it's fraud or not.
Crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah, I don't know. Stag, I know you was trying to make your point. I don't want to cut you off, brother. Go ahead.
I don't even remember what it was anymore. I lost track. It's all good.
All right, cool. So Fuzz, let's go ahead and segue. No, you're good, Stag. If you think of it, just jump in, brother. No problem. Fuzz, we're going to segue over to you, man. I know you, like I said before, this is something that we've talked about, man, but it's just crazy to think that I don't. You know what? The funny thing is, I don't necessarily blame Sony as much because I feel like that was something that they already had kind of in place maybe with Call of Duty. But I don't, even though Call of Duty's not they don't have the marketing deal anymore for Call of Duty. I think that was something that was maybe part of it that was kind of left over that they were obligated to. Activision is a whole bitch for this one. Activision is a whole bitch for this one, bro. And I'm not even pulling no punches, dude. I swear. I cannot. Activision is just showing their ass. Once again, Destiny's no longer part of that stable. You got to find somewhere else to bleed people from. Let's do it in Call of Duty. Go ahead, Fuzz. Go ahead, man.
No, I kind of like what Stag was saying earlier. I'm fine with exclusive skins. I'm fine with exclusive weapons if they're if it's something related to that platform's ecosystem. So for example, with Monster Hunter World, you could get I forget her name now, Elo or whatever, the one from Horizon Zero Dawn. You can get a skin from that in Monster Hunter World.
That's fine.
So that's cool.
That's fine.
That makes perfect sense. But to have a whole mode for a year, I mean, I even kind of laughed about the whole Destiny thing because I bought Destiny on PlayStation for that.
See, and then a bitch. See, Fuzz? Oh my goodness.
and the problem with that whole deal was when I bought it on PlayStation, it was great because I was able to play with coworkers and friends and things like that, but you couldn't really advance solo. So I like to play a lot of times solo to kind of catch up or get some of the things that I like exploring every nook and cranny of a map. So I know I've probably frustrated a lot of my coworkers and friends. What are you doing? Oh, I'm checking over here to see if there's something over here or a chest or something. And it's there's times where I just want to play on my own and do that. And it's if you're not going to make any progress, it doesn't make any sense. So I hated that whole deal that when I finally went over to Xbox and played Division over there and tried to even look at Destiny again, it's well, half the stuff that I had over on PlayStation, I can't even touch for a year over here. I'm are you serious?
2 years.
After at the time it was just noted as a year, and you said it wanted to be in 2 years, but it was after I already spent the money on it twice. It's you seriously? So I think at that point I was kind of done with Activision as a whole. And now that they're doing this with Call of Duty, it's kind of okay, I guess I really didn't need to buy this one until it's $5 or $15, and they'll get my money, or actually GameStop will probably get my money, or maybe when it's one of those Xbox Gold deals or something like that, they'll probably finally get my money at that point. But in the meantime, it was I was really looking forward to Modern Warfare.
A lot of people were.
Right now, you know what? I got tons of other things I can play. I still got Division I play pretty much daily. I still got Forza Horizon 4 I play pretty much daily. So I'll just, stick with those and pass on this for right now.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to check out the Ghost Recon beta here sometime this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, skins, fine. Modes, I don't know. I don't hate Sony on this. Hate Activision for this. Kind of frustrated with Phil and gang only because it's like they say they're never going to go after exclusive stuff, but are they doing anything to counter
Yeah.
this type of business practice? I mean, it's not in their hands because it's not their company. They don't own or have a vested interest in Activision, but I'm pretty sure they can come to the table and be like, look, if it's something like skins and things like this, then yeah, okay, fine. Then give us, at least an opportunity to have, like, let's say, a weapon skin that looks like Master Chief's, pistol or something along those lines. Just something.
Yeah.
So it's not like, okay, I spent $60 and I get 90% of the product, as opposed to I spend the $60 over here and I get 100% of the product. It just, I don't know. It's frustrating. It wasn't on my radar as a big purchase anyway, so I can't say, oh, I'll cancel my pre-order. I wasn't planning on pre-ordering it anyway, but it was one of those I would have probably made an impulse buy. Oh, it's launch today? Oh, let me download it. Well, now I'll pause on that
Yeah.
because I'm definitely not ordering on my PlayStation because I don't have a Pro, so it's like, yeah, I'll just, if I can't play it on my X, yeah, I'm not going to bother buying it, so.
Okay.
Unless it's something I can't physically play on my X, like what was the last one I bought? Days Gone. So,
Mm-hmm.
but
Okay.
yeah, that's how I feel.
No,
One
I mean,
question I do
go
have,
ahead,
though,
son.
I
Go
don't
ahead.
mean to
No,
interject
you're
here,
good. You're
but
good.
your audio is a little bit low. Did I turn you down?
Is it? Oh, okay.
I think it might have been me. My mic's like, anyways, like the one thing I do question is like, what's the tactic here? Like, do they think people are going to be like so distraught over not having this one game mode that they're going to go out and buy a PS4 just to play that?
I don't
You know,
know.
like
That's
in this late in the gen, when PS5s and Xbox, whatever the fuck they're going to call it, comes out next holiday season or whatever, that's pretty much when we know they're coming probably. Like,
Mhm.
who the hell's going to rush out and spend $400 on a PS4 right now or an Xbox One X, to be honest with you?
yeah.
Like, it's just.
God, I feel like a dumbass. I bought the Xbox One X Gears 5 edition.
I had it pre-ordered and I wish I had it, but I don't. But yeah, I'm just saying, like, that's a little different. It's a collector's edition. I could see
Right.
people buying that Death Strand, or is that what the game's called?
Right.
Death Stranded
Death
one with the
Stranding, yeah.
handprints and the
Yeah.
the
Now,
controller I would on. But
Oh, stop.
I can see people buying collector's edition stuff, but going out to buy the PS4 to play one mode of COD, it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, it doesn't
Like,
add up.
now
no,
And
yeah.
let me ask you a question, if you don't mind, PTK.
yeah, go ahead.
Do you think this is Xbox being cheap, not wanting to pay for stuff like this? Or is this PlayStation being stupid with their money? Because the most significant thing that I could think of that is been exclusive was that raid on Destiny 2, but I really don't know too many people who do the raids, especially on a raid. I know there's people out there that do the raids, but I'm just saying that the ones that do them are few and far between because you got to have the right group of people to pull the raids off. And in my world, I don't have enough time or the right friends to pull
Yeah,
some of those raids off.
that's always tough. Yeah.
But it's just like really think about what PlayStation has really got like out of Destiny 2 for all the money that PlayStation is spending to get these exclusive deals. They've gotten a raid. They've gotten like a bearskin hat in Red Dead Redemption 2. They got some skins and a small Cheesemo mission in Control, and now they're getting a game mode that actually not too many people would have played, even if it was on both consoles day and date.
Yeah.
That's one thing. So is this Xbox being cheap, not wanting to spend their money on this, or are they being smart with their money?
I don't.
And is PlayStation just being dumb with their money, just like throwing it around?
Well, it's hard to say. It's hard to say either or because you don't know. Like sometimes, like just don't. I can only speak on the situation, the most present situation, which is going to be the Call of Duty situation. I think some of that stemmed from the situation they had, the marketing situation they had with Call of Duty. There was other pieces there. I don't think they have the marketing deal anymore, but maybe that was part of that. As far as them getting some type of exclusive mode, that could have just been a residual, maybe some fine print type shit. Like, look, if you do this, I understand we're not gonna market you, like you're part of the PlayStation brand, but we're still able to get this mode in the game exclusive to our system. I can't say if it's both because I mean, it's not like these aren't things. Those are things that are extremely subtle. Like I don't care about the cosmetic shit at all. If you say, hey, I'm gonna buy Red Dead Redemption on my PS4 because of this bearskin hat, more power to you. But I don't feel like there's enough people saying that to be like, oh well, hell, this is gonna tip the scales. Like it's just I think something that they can say they're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's just something to say, hey, we're doing this. They're not doing that. I don't know if it's tipping the scales in any direction. So once again, I don't mind the cosmetic shit, but game modes and like shit that like matters to people, weapons, all this other kind of shit, that's a no no. And I just can't tolerate that from anybody. And I like the fact that Xbox doesn't participate or they don't do things like that as far as when they get a game, that they have a marketing deal with. They don't just do exclusive missions and modes and shit like that just on Xbox. So I can't say it's either or. I'm glad that they don't do it, because they've always talked about inclusive. It's being inclusive, and they've always liked to work with, they're working with Nintendo. They're doing all these cool things, and they're all buddy now. They don't mind. Like, they're not looking at it like shit. We want our game to be on the most systems. We want it to sell as much as it possibly can sell. We want these games to be the spotlight, and if they can be on other systems, that's great. Sony, we got to remember too, Sony was the last one to jump on board for crossplay. They had to pull teeth to get them to do fucking Minecraft and shit and Rocket League. Shit that should have been crossplay. So, if you go into that mentality, you kind of figure out that Sony, maybe they're just doing the nickel and dime of those things that they can just say that, hey, we did them. These are things that the other competition's not doing. So, I don't know, man, but we could talk about this shit all day, man. We can talk this all day for real. Let's go ahead and move on, man. Great topic, everybody. Let us know in the chat what you think about that. It's been talked about all week, but we're going to go ahead and move on. So, next one is huge as well. We all know the state of play just passed. I believe what was it, the 24th? It was 24th, correct? State of play? If I'm correct. Was it 24th?
Something like that.
Something like that. Either way.
So. Yeah, early in the week.
Yeah, early in the week. We're talking about The Last of Us 2. They come out. Obviously, there was a new trailer. I thought we were going to see, I don't know. I thought we would see more. They did do a follow-up. There's some videos you can go and they did a full depth breakdown on a lot of different things and new shit that they're doing with the game. Looks great. I just wanted everybody's opinion on The Last of Us 2. Now, I predicted this shit would actually, this would like shut shit down. And it really, it was a lot of people talked about it, but it didn't really have the impact that I thought. People are excited. You know what I'm saying? I'm even excited. I just wanted to see more from the game, but I didn't really get as much as I thought I would get. Maybe they're saving that from PSX before. What you guys did see, let us know in the chat as well. Start with you, Stag. What do you think? Are you picking up The Last of Us 2? Is that something that you're going to plan on? And how was your feelings about seeing the new trailer and some of the other things that Dev's been showing?
Yeah, man, I'm glad you looped back to what the question was again. Thank you.
No problem.
Because I was lost. I'm like, pooh, brain's not working today. So I haven't played the first one.
Oh, that's right. I forgot. Shit,
I don't play a lot on the PlayStation. I'm not so I like AAA titles. I got the PlayStation specifically to play their exclusives, and I haven't been able to make myself do it. It's just I don't know. I've tried a few different ones, and I just can't get into it. The game looks great. It visually looks awesome. The storyline's probably really cool. I'm not super into post-apocalyptic zombie type shit. I like The Walking Dead. I don't watch the show. I never really have. I'm not really huge into zombie movies. It's just not my fucking thing. So, like I said, it looks great. I enjoyed watching the trailer. I enjoyed watching State of Play just as much as Inside Xbox was a little cheesy, but I still enjoyed the fucking information. It's scripted. It's supposed to be cheesy. They're trying to appeal to a wide audience, but I'm probably not going to play it. I'm probably not going to download the free first one. That's whatever. I don't have PS Now. It's in PS Now, right? So you have to. Yeah. I don't have that, so I'm not going to do that. I don't think I have. I have a stack of exclusives that I haven't even started yet from the PlayStation, and thousands of games on the Xbox ecosystem that I own that I need to play. So, I'm happy you guys that love that series and are happy that want to play it. Good for you. I'm happy for you. Do I care that it doesn't have multiplayer? Don't give a fuck. It actually, the fact that the first one has multiplayer blows my mind a little bit because I don't even understand how it fits in the game. So,
It's kind of like Uncharted. People, and the funny thing about this is
which
that
I don't understand that either. So
yeah,
I mean,
once again, so shout out to Anchorman, my good buddy Anchorman. I don't want to kind of sidetrack here, but there was a great theory about why he thinks Sony doesn't do multiplayer, and it's go check him out, Anchorman on Twitter. But either way, go ahead and finish out your thing. But yeah, you're right. Those are they've always felt kind of tacked on, like they're here just to say we have multiplayer. Some people swear by Uncharted multiplayer. I've watched people play it. I've attempted to. It's not the business at all. I don't give a fuck what anybody say. You can try and hype it up and tell me it's this or that. Tomb Raider's multiplayer was better than Uncharted's.
Oh yeah.
I know it's a hugely unpopular opinion, but PlayStation's exclusives bore me. Like I'm not a huge moviegoer, first of all, and I feel like when I get into those PlayStation exclusives that I'm kind of getting into, yes, I'm going to be playing a video game, but I'm also going to be like watching a fucking movie. And I just, that's not why I'm here. I'm here to shoot shit, jump over things, have some fun, not like find out how good of a fucking storyteller your development team is. I mean, that's great. Those are great things, but it's just not my thing.
Well,
so.
The Metacritic loves it. I tell you that because them bitches.
Oh my god, yeah. No, I mean, if I want to watch a movie, I got a wife who will tell me every movie I need to watch. So.
No, I get it. I'm just shooting this shit here. But either way, now I get what you're saying. I mean, there are some people, like I said, there's a formula there. Don't get me wrong, I do both sides. I've played a ton of Sony PS2, PS3, PS1. I played a ton of Sony games. There is a formula in all of those Sony exclusives. We see it. There's little Days Gone was fucking Last of Us.
They're all very similar with just different stories.
With different stories, very similar. The gameplay, the mechanics, the atmosphere that they put you in. Like God of War is completely a separate environment from like Uncharted or Last of Us, but they give you that same feeling when you're playing them. They kind of create the same. I can't explain it. It works. It's great. Don't get me wrong. The games sell fantastic. They do what they're supposed to do. But we talk about this, Halo, Gears, Forza. What about Uncharted, Last of Us, and like what about?
Yeah,
that's the
they
same.
Say that our games or not just our games, but Xbox games are stale. But like
that's the same.
Y'all
formula.
just keep rolling out the same shit too.
So I don't know. I don't know.
Still rolling out the same game mechanic in all their games.
I don't know. And this is not a dig at Sony.
No, they got a new passing mechanic. Come on.
We're just keeping it real. This is not a dig at Sony, but if we're gonna look at both sides of the fence. That's
just our opinions.
It's our opinions. It's our opinions.
Yeah, no, you're right. No, they did introduce the throwable axe. I forgot about that.
Oh, stop with the ridiculous. Stop with the. Anyway, go ahead, Centurion, since you got a whole lot to say about that. Last two, man. What'd you think, man?
Oh man, freaking The Last of Us 2. I will say I haven't played the first one yet. Call me a fraud, whatever. It's in my backlog. But I'm like Stagger, man. My PlayStation is like me going out right now and taking another girl to dinner while I'm leaving my wife here at home.
Oh,
it just doesn't feel right,
It's in a lot more trouble too.
Damn,
I mean, did she throw something at you right now? God damn.
I'm just saying,
like when I'm just disappears from the podcast.
Right.
When I'm on my PlayStation, I still find myself booting up my Xbox just to turn on my party chat. It's like I got to have a connection somewhere to my Xbox, even when I'm on my PlayStation, because it is what it is. I'm not trying to be in troll today and be like harping on PlayStation, but it's called the Play Alone station for a reason. And, oh my gosh, man, you do feel kind of lonely, Thursday night when we were with Noof Nukem, we were chatting with him too, and he was even like, I have over 100 friends on my PlayStation and they're all playing single player experiences. Nobody's talking to each other, they're not engaging with each other. I've been playing Assassin's Creed Odyssey today, and I keep saying PTK Blam's online, this person's online, that person's online. You don't feel so lonely, and you can interact and get in a party chat with people, send messages, it just doesn't feel as lonely. So yeah, I have to play these exclusives. Like I have Last of Us 2, I have Spider-Man, I have oh my gosh, what was the zombie game, that the motorcycle?
Days Gone.
Days Gone.
Oh my gosh, I've played, but I have played some great PlayStation games. Hell, I was a fan of The Order 1886. The PlayStation makes a good experience, but the last time I played a PlayStation exclusive was God of War, and what kind of caused that to happen is my Xbox broke.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. It is. I mean, at
Yeah.
the end of the day, we sit up, and this is not a dig. So you guys know what we do. We got what number fucking podcast we on? 129. You got plenty of information and plenty of videos to know that we're not just digging at Sony here. It's just our opinions, but it is what it is. I mean, it's not something that people talk about a lot, but it's something that does come up. We talk about it here on the show, and I mean, look at The Last of Us 2. Once again, this is not a knock on the creative work that these individuals put in. These games are great games. I'm not saying that. There's millions of people go out and buy them. Millions of people love these games. Matter of fact, I'm a huge God of War fan. I've been saying that forever. Everybody knows that's ever seen this podcast. God of War is my shit. It's the one game I wish was on Xbox. Dead ass serious. But once again, if you're looking at The Last of Us 2, I expect a lot from that franchise. Last of Us 1 came out at the end of last generation, and people were calling it the game of the generation. It came out with like the last 2 years of a 10-year generation. People are like, oh, this is it. This is the game of the generation. So I have extremely high expectations for The Last of Us 2. So once again, I saw it. I saw the trailer. I watched it. I've been looking at a little bit of the dev diary and all of the extra things they've been doing. Gameplay looks fantastic. Visually, I expect nothing less than what it looks. It looks amazing. Visually, it looks beautiful. It looks gorgeous. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah, don't get me wrong. It looks amazing. I love seeing that scene of the horses in town and the people, and they've got the Christmas lights going down the sides of the building. I mean, it looked clean. I'm definitely gonna pick it up. But
it's amazing. Yeah, no, it's just once again. Let's go ahead and get over to you, folks. We don't want this show running half an hour over. Let's get this over to you, man. What do you think about The Last of Us 2? Did you see it?
Yeah, I like the fact that they actually showed Joel is alive and that he's not just a ghost and stuff like that. So that kind of settled some of those questions. But overall, a little disappointed. No multiplayer. Like I kind of expected that they were going to go in a different direction and say, hey, we're going to actually put more focus on it.
They did say it would never be a multiplayer. They didn't say they're not looking at that right now for the game.
Yeah, so I'm a little disappointed in that regard because their multiplayer on the first one was one of their best. Well, I won't say their best efforts, but one of the better efforts on PlayStation in general. So I kind of figured, maybe they'll actually give it a full try this time. But knowing Joel is alive, it changes up some of the stuff that I kind of figured. Oh, is she seeing ghosts or is she going to be going halfway crazy or what's the deal? But yeah, I like the trailer, like the seasonal detail differences as far as different environments from what we've seen prior, and I like a lot of, even though it was more cinematic stuff as opposed to like full on gameplay stuff, but the overall visuals are fantastic.
Yeah, it looks beautiful.
I just kind of expected more people would talk about it even longer, but I think it's right now. I think we're at that lull where people are just like, just get the game on my dashboard so I can download it and play it, and then they talk about Metacritic is 98.7 or something.
Oh, it's gonna be up there. It's gonna be up there. I'm calling it right now, and I give two shits about Metacritic at all, but I have no doubts it's 95 and up.
Yeah.
So, yeah, for sure.
But good things from the state of play. As far as that was the highlight. I actually am looking. As crazy as it's going to sound, I'm actually looking more forward to Humanity than The Last of Us 2. But people
I think you said
like,
that as well, Stag too. You was it Humanity that you said that was cool? Sorry,
Humanity just looked interesting. I mean, we didn't see much other than crazy fucking chaos, but
is that the
just
one
from
with
what
all
I
the people
saw, I
running
was
into each other, all them
like it just kind of feels like a tower defense style in a way, and I was like, this, just the pure chaos that was going on. I was like, this actually looks really
cool. That's
cool.
right up your fucking alley, Stag. You know that,
right? Yeah, causing chaos.
But either way, go ahead, Fuzz. I didn't mean
being evil.
Go ahead.
No,
Fuzz,
that was pretty much more of a highlight for me, more so than The Last of Us 2. I'm still looking at possibly picking it up, but like I said, I'll pull out my fraud card as well. I haven't finished the first one. I kind of feel like I don't need to play it now that I've seen so many YouTube videos of the walkthroughs where it's like a movie at that point. And I get what Stan is saying. It's like I'm kind of at the same point because I haven't finished Days Gone, like a lot of the gameplay mechanics of it, but it feels more like a movie than a game, and that's not. It's not something that's drawing me back in to start it up again, type of thing. That's me. I don't know.
Once again, I've said that for a very, and that's an unpopular opinion. I said it about Last of Us 2 when I played through, Last of Us 1, sorry, when I played through it back on the PS3. When I played through the shit, I'm like, this could have been a movie. I feel like I was watching some shit on Fox or some shit to come on NBC or something. Because outside of the little action sequences in between, the gameplay wasn't nothing life changing. You hide, throw some shit over there. You know, one of the seekers go over there because they get distracted. You walk around, stab them in the neck, rinse and repeat. Like
Can
it
I?
wasn't, it wasn't anything groundbreaking as far as gameplay. Go ahead, Centurion.
I just want to state one other thing that kind of bothers me about the whole situation of them taking out the multiplayer is if an Xbox game that people were looking forward to, and keep in mind in The Last of Us 2, they did say about a year ago that there was going to be multiplayer, and now there's not. If this was the roles were reversed and this was an Xbox game,
Oh, holy
they
shit.
would be trying to drag an Xbox executive out in the middle of the street and burn them down.
Yeah.
Like
Xbox is done.
I mean, like this is why it just, I will like stand behind that there is a biasness going on, that for some reason on the PlayStation side they're going to downplay this and be like, oh, it didn't really need it anyways, blah blah blah. But it's just like, but if this was the roles were reversed and this was an Xbox game, like they would be torn apart for this.
Imagine Gears with no horde. Imagine if Coalition came out and said, guys, we said you're getting horde, but we're not going to do it. Like imagine that game would be drugged as great as Gears was. This shit would be drugged. Now we're not gonna dive into that. That's a whole other topic.
I know.
I got another hour.
I know we got another hour, but I don't have another hour. But either way,
cancel whatever plans you got going on, man.
Oh my goodness, this is ridiculous. No, we can go. I mean, that's a whole long winding road for sure. We could talk about that. Could be a whole episode in of itself, whole podcast in of itself. But we're gonna keep it moving. We're gonna keep it moving. Once again, chat, thank you guys for coming, man. You guys are amazing. Everybody here watching, man. Make sure you hit the like button on the way in, man. Retweet the link. The show always pops up a little bit later on. So if you're not watching it live, tell your friends about it. If they missed it, tell them to go ahead and follow the show as well, man. Let's go ahead and just dive into the very last topic, man. You guys have been amazing here today. So this is kind of a fun one. We've been talking about some serious shit. I don't like to stay that way. I like to just throw these random ass questions in to get everybody kind of thinking. Everybody's just having fun. So the last one was something that I kind of came up with. Now, as gamers, we do a lot of shit. We're habitual people, right? As gamers, I think we all are creatures of habit naturally because we love video games. We fall into patterns. We like certain things. We don't like other things. So the question was, what are your bad gaming habits? Now, it may not have anything to do specifically like something that you're doing in game. It could be just something related to video games. So, like, what is a habit that you're like, man, this is a bad habit I have, just that's video game related? So I'm gonna go with you, Stag, first.
Oh,
because I already know. So
yeah.
I'm gonna go with you first, Stag. Trying to catch you a little bit off guard here. I know you kind of been thinking about that shit because you mentioned earlier. But either way, man. Yeah, I know, right? Any bad gaming habits, man, that you can confess to here on the shop?
Oh man, like everybody that watches my streams knows that I don't know how to press the A button on a load screen. So I mean, I will fucking sit there for like 5 minutes, like, why isn't this game? Oh, press A, son of a bitch. I mean, like my gaming partner, we've been gaming together for 3 years probably, and like his command in my stream, like he can type in exclamation point whatever his name is, and he fucking like, it's like, Stagger, press A. No, seriously, dude, press A. Like it's my worst habit, like getting us to the next point in the game or opening a door, just pressing the damn A button. And also like finishing games, like I'm pretty sure a lot of us are like that, but I jump around a lot and I end up like really liking a game and then never getting back to finishing it. So those are my probably like, and then leaving games out face up. I posted a picture once and there was like 3 games sitting out on my console and like 4 different people on Twitter were like, are those discs up out of their case getting dusty? And I'm just like, oh my god. Yeah, I was like, yeah, dude, there's like 6 more you can't fucking see, bro.
I could never do that, dude. I'm a physical media hoarder, and oh my god, I would probably have a coronary.
I usually, and like typically they're games from GameFly, so I don't really.
Never mind.
They're not my fucking games. Yeah, so I mean.
Oh well, but no.
That's me, man. I just don't know how to press A.
I think that not finishing games, we all do that. it's just a lot of shit to play. People have backlogs. Some of us buy games 2, 3, 4 at a time. It's just
Buying
hard.
shit on sale just because, like, ooh,
Exactly.
that's only $2.
Yeah,
Just
exactly.
just cause. So I think we're all guilty of that to some point. So I think that's something that's pretty universal as a gamer, no matter what the fuck you play on. So Fuzz, we're gonna go with you next, man. What is it? I feel like I know. I think you just confessed earlier what your bad gaming habit was. So anything about you?
Exploring every aspect of every map. You're
Open
already
every loot
started
box.
the battle, and
Oh
I'm
my
over in the
goodness.
corner opening up a chest.
I'm getting melted in Division. Fuzzy's over there like, ooh, gloves. I'm like, what are you doing? Come on, I'm getting shot up.
Ooh, a bandana.
Yeah,
Hey guys, I got a teddy bear for my backpack.
yeah.
Oh, my
I
goodness.
just
We're all dead, jerk.
I think these open world games have kind of trained us to like open every door, open every box, look around every corner. It's like, oh well, if there's a walkway here, there's obviously something at the end of this walkway, so I got to go down here. And yeah, I'm that guy that does that, and it's like the rest of the team's up here getting wasted, and it's like, crap. Oh, I'm heading back over. Let me fast travel to you. It's like, too late. We're respawning. But yeah, that I gotta focus on the mission at hand and not look for that next set of like cool gloves or hats or whatever for the game. But that's definitely one of my bad habits.
Okay. You know what? I'd agree partially to that for me as well. I do. Looter shooters have kind of trained me. Fuck you, Borderlands. You got that fucking ball
Right.
rolling.
Yep.
OG Borderlands got that ball rolling with this looter shooter shit. Looking for shit, trying to find all these different weapons, a billion fucking guns in the game, all kind of shit. So they got me on that shit. But I think for me, besides that, we kind of already said that. I think that's pretty universal. What could I say that I do that's not? I mean, I guess it's kind of something that's maybe just Xbox related. I'm not good at like replying to people's messages.
Yeah.
Like I don't check them often, and I'll look at them like, how the fuck do I got 20 messages? Like, when did I get these messages? Like, I mean, obviously we can say that now, but because that's something that's been part of video games, the party system and messaging forever now. But I just don't like. It's not a big thing, I guess, but I do get messages from people saying, "Hey, come play. Can I come play?" And then I look. It's 2 weeks later. I'm like, "Oh shit, they wanted to play," and it's like a week, like a week ago, 2 weeks ago. So I think that's I don't really. I guess it's not that big of a deal, but sorry to whoever's been sending messages and I'm not checking them. I apologize. 3 days later, I'm like, oh shit, they wanted to play. So I think that's something that maybe I need to work on. Just kind of paying attention and shit like that. I get so caught up with playing, and I get kind of I like to play with I'm kind of fond of playing with certain people. And so I kind of lean towards those people that Fuzz and Centurion and certain people
We all have
that
our
I enjoy. Yeah,
core group.
preferences. Yeah, and a couple of my other friends that are outside the podcast as well. So it's just I don't know. I'm so bad about that, but it's definitely something I think I'm gonna get better at. Like that's more of like I have to actively think about that. I have to actively say, okay, go check your messages, things like that. So I think that's one thing I'm gonna work on. Obviously, finishing games is another one. Half-ass finishing the game and buying 2 more games. We all suffer from that. So Centurion, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up with you, brother. I mean, any gaming habits that bad gaming habits specifically.
Well, I saw Shizno Elite in the chat talk about how he has ADHD, and I have it too. So it kind of is like a double whammy for me. For starters, I buy all these games. Like I was thinking the other day, I was like, I bought the $100 version of Black Ops 4, and I have probably played that game a few hours. I was such a dumbass. I have all these games. My backlog is a mile long, and I do buy games when they're on sale, or I buy a game to hang out with friends, and then my friends never play that game, and it ends up turning into that. But then the double whammy is when you play some of these single-player experiences, like when I played the Batman Arkham trilogy, I had to get all the Riddler trophies. Like right now, Assassin's Creed Odyssey, I'm pushing almost 175 hours. Why? Because I had to unlock the entire map. I wanted to get all the collectibles. I wanted to do all the missions and all this other stuff. Yeah. Or like I got Fuzzy's problem, like, oh, where does this lead? Oh, where does that go? Oh, what's here? So I'm just like all over the place on that. And then my biggest cardinal thing that I've ever done in gaming, I'm embarrassed. I've done it with only a few people, but the one I'm thinking of is my brother. My ass is falling asleep.
Fuzzy,
Oh, I get
Yeah,
fuzzy,
him
I
that
fuzzy,
one. Oh my
fuzzy,
god.
fuzzy, fuzzy. Oh, looks like Fuzz has been on Forza for 3 days straight. Like, holy
Mine was
shit.
like, why are you firing upwards into a corner? What? I'm
Why are
not
you
doing
running
that.
into
Oh,
that
cool.
wall?
Yeah, yeah.
Or for me, Phil, why are you just standing there? Huh? What?
That is horrible. That is fucking horrible, dude.
Mm.
Wow, wow. No, go ahead. I don't know if you were done, Centurion. That is fucking hilarious, dude.
Oh man, yeah, freaking. That's pretty much it.
Okay. Okay. And then once again, chat, let us know down in the chat what you guys think, man. But looks like we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up on that one. That was fucking hilarious, dude. Falling asleep. Holy shit, dude. I completely forgot about that. But once again, everybody, another jam-packed show full of content, another week, another Saturday. You guys are coming out, hanging out with us, showing support. Chat was lit. Chat was active. Thank you guys for doing this every week, man. Bring your friends, man. If you know anybody else that loves podcasts, we have a lot of fun here. Bring your friends. Tell them about us. I'm gonna do a better job at kind of I don't say marketing, but just kind of putting the podcast out there. I'm looking at maybe putting it elsewhere, as well. So you guys, what do you guys think about the idea of the podcast? Like, after the show, me moving the audio, things like that to different places. I'm going to get creative with the podcast as well. So let me know on Twitter as well. Follow us there. But appreciate you guys once again showing up, showing out. Another week. We will be back next week doing the same damn thing. And that's having a good time talking about video games. I will let my compadres here let everybody know what they got going on. So we're going to start with you, Stag. I know you talked about earlier you got some things going on Mixer. You kind of changed your schedule. So let everybody know, refresh everybody what you got going on.
Yeah, I just switched to Monday through Friday, 9:15 a.m. Pacific Standard to 11:30 a.m. I've been focusing more on indie titles again. Like when I started out, I really enjoy showcasing new indie titles for people. Not even just new ones, maybe some old ones that you might have overlooked. Because let's be honest, indie titles really get put on the back burner in the gaming industry and in the
Facts.
heavy popular. You know what I mean? Like the mainstream. I know they're hugely popular, but they're still like a niche of a niche of a
Mm-hmm.
niche. So I try and just show people those games and have fun with them because I really have grown to love them and found a passion for exploring the different worlds and gaming ideas that are involved in them. So you can find me on mixer.com/stagger Monday through Friday.
Awesome. Hit him up, man. Once again, go follow him on Twitter. Go follow him on Twitter. That's where you're going to be able to find all his information, Mixer.
Watch me
Then
mock people with gifts.
at that as well too. But he's streaming once again, a fantastic guy, man. I appreciate Stack so much for the whole for being an advocate for indies because I feel like we need more of those because indies are a lot of creatively. We get a lot of things from indies that end up in these bigger games, like ideas. Because indie games can take those chances and do things differently creatively. So I feel like a lot of developers are influenced by sometimes, them seeing these smaller games like shit. That'll probably be cool if we could put that in a bigger game. We could take that aspect and utilize it in a bigger game. A lot of times we probably wouldn't even catch it. A lot of these
They can take bigger
influencers,
risks.
they can take bigger risks exactly because they don't have the financial responsibility to say, hey, we got to sell X number of copies. They can kind of do what they want to do and still turn a profit and it still be fun to them. So I appreciate you for that, Stag, as well. Thank you for being here once again every single week, man. Super consistent. Go follow Stag and everything he's doing. Big friend of mine. We're gonna go ahead and bounce over to you, Stagger. Jesus Christ,
I already went.
Centurion. I know you did. Asshand. Anyway, I love you, bro. I love you, bro. But either way, Centurion, the newest member of the podcast, man. I know you got things going on. You got a video coming out soon. We kind of previewed it. Didn't mean to let the cat out the bag early, but I know we got one cooking up for. Just let everybody know when that's coming out.
Yeah, it's going to be coming out Monday morning. And obviously, I do like to link sources in my videos. I don't just spout out information for no reason. But you can always find me on Twitter at Centurion1307, also on YouTube at Centurion1307. I also kick it here with you guys every Saturday on the Shop Podcast. I'm on TXR on Sundays and the Saltiest Gaming Podcast on Thursdays.
Awesome. That dude. Shout out to Salty. Shout out to TXR. Those guys are amazing. Please go follow them as well. They put on great podcasts, man. Shout out to those guys as well, man. We're doing they're doing a great job of what they do over there too. So big shout out to you as well, Centurion, being consistent on the show, man. You're a great friend of mine now. We kind of live close to each other as well. We're in the same area, so that's always kind of a bonus. But I appreciate you every single week for coming on, man.
I
You add a lot.
appreciate you letting me be part of this experience, man.
Oh
That's why I
man.
said it's my first home in podcasting, and I could never like totally leave you guys behind. No, like I have to be here for you guys because you let me get on the microphone for the first time ever on a podcast.
Not a problem, man. I didn't let you do anything. Your talent did, man. But I appreciate you, brother. I just see something and I want to share it with everybody else. So that's kind of the way I go about it. But once again, thank you for being on the show. Last but not least, Barry White. I mean, AKA shit. I mean, AKA Fuzz. My bad. My bad. Barry White. Fuzz. I keep
You gotta
getting them
talk
mixed
in a low
up.
voice
Yeah, I
when you
keep
call him
getting them.
Barry White.
Yeah, Barry White. Barry White of the podcast. But I keep getting them mixed up. I mean, I'm sorry. Either way, Fuzz. Let everybody know what's going on with you, man. What you got cooking up, man?
Well, you can usually find me on Twitter, either commenting on something Forza related or posting some pics on Forza, or you can catch me on Xbox Live playing Forza or Division 2, Fuzzy Space Belvedere, and on Twitter, Fuzzy_Belvedere. And on every Saturday here on the Shop Podcast, kicking it with you guys, talking games, which is pretty much one of my hobbies that I enjoy.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always fun being here and awesome chat, awesome talking with you guys again. And man, looking forward to next Saturday.
Let's do it, man. And last but not least, the host with the most here, PTK Blam, and across the board. As I say every week, hit me up on Xbox Live at PTK Blam, Twitter, first and last name. Follow me there, man. That's where you guys can get poll of the week, everything that's going on. When I get guests on, I always like to announce that stuff during the week if I can. If I can get a guest on early enough, so you guys keep track there. Any updates on the podcast, anything I'm doing on YouTube as well, let me know. Once again, guys, I love input and feedback. If you have anything that we could change or just just input essentially on the podcast, I always like to hear about that. So hit me up on Twitter, hit me in the DMs. They are open to anybody. So appreciate the love you guys show every single week, man. Once again, hit the like button on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already been. Hey, thank you guys for coming. Hope you guys enjoy the rest of your weekend. We will be back next week, same time. Same damn place. Phenomenal guys. Phenomenal topics, man. Next week, I'm going to actually try and get a guest on, maybe two. So I'm going to reach out a little early, probably like tomorrow, reach out to a couple people, see if I can get them locked in for next week so we can have a bigger show. We can do some creative things. But either way, man, once again, you guys enjoy the rest of your day, the rest of your week as well, man. We are out of here. Peace out. Everybody have a good one.
Take care of yourself, guys.
Take care.
Later.
Later.